That stubborn post-lunch fog and bloating may not be random. It could be your liver quietly asking for help. Ignore the small nudges, and the risk grows, draining energy and focus day after day. Stay with me for a calm, practical plan to ease the load and feel steady again. If my body had a quiet notification system, my liver would be the icon that blinks without sound. I used to brush off the mid-afternoon slump, the fog after a big lunch, the skin looking a bit dull under office lights. Life in North America makes that easy. A drive-through breakfast, a syrupy latte on the way to work, a soda at lunch, a microwave dinner after a long commute. Routine feels normal until the whisper grows louder. Today, I'm going to decode that whisper with you, calmly and clearly, so you can make safer choices without extremes. This is education, not diagnosis. Everyone's health is different, and if you have medical conditions or take medications, it's wise to talk with a qualified professional before changing your routine. My goal here is simple. Give you everyday actions that are practical and evidence-aligned, while reminding you that methods and amounts matter. When it comes to health, using the wrong quantity or a sloppy preparation can cause discomfort or interact with what you already take. We'll keep it measured and sensible. First, a quick truth. Your liver is the backstage worker of your metabolism. It processes nutrients from breakfast, helps handle that Friday drink, stores some fuel for later, and filters what shouldn't linger. It prefers steady, predictable workloads. But our habits rarely cooperate. A jumbo soda with high fructose corn syrup, a treat muffin the size of a softball, and a creamy BBQ sauce slathered on a weeknight burger. Each little choice nudges the workload up. Not a crisis, not a headline. Just friction your liver has to manage, day after day. Here's the part that changed how I read my own pantry. The villain that overworks the system is often hiding in plain sight on labels. Added sugars under different names, especially in places we don't expect. Breakfast cereals marketed as wholesome, flavored yogurts, salad dressings, tomato sauces, energy drinks, and even the caramel swirl in your afternoon coffee. The simple action that starts to turn the tide is a 2-label audit. Today, pick any 2 packaged foods you use often and check for high fructose corn syrup or long chains of added sugars. You're not throwing anything out right now. You're practicing awareness. Tomorrow, you might swap just one item for an unsweetened version. The reason this matters is less dramatic than it is relentless. Frequent spikes from sugary beverages and syrupy coffees push your body to work harder to keep balance. Over time, your liver would prefer a slower drip of inputs, not a series of sudden tasks. When you replace a 20-ounce soda with sparkling water and lemon, or trade a dessert-like latte for a simple filtered coffee with a sprinkle of cinnamon, you ease that load without feeling punished. The same goes for choosing a savory breakfast, eggs, oatmeal without added sugar, or plain yogurt with berries, over the cake for breakfast routine that has become normal in many cafeterias and hotel buffets. Now, because this is health content, I need to say the quiet part out loud. Quantity and method truly matter. If you decide to increase your fiber, do it gradually and drink water, or you may earn bloating that makes you give up too soon. If you drink alcohol, keep it moderate and never mix with certain over-the-counter pain relievers. Labels and professional guidance are your friends. These aren't scare tactics. They're basic kitchen table safety that help your good intentions actually work. Let me make you a promise to keep you motivated. At the end of our full journey together, I'll share a small, free bonus habit, just 10 minutes placed at the right time, that quietly multiplies the benefit of everything you'll learn. No gadgets, no apps, no expensive powders. It's a routine tweak you can do at a mall, at the office, or on your block. Meanwhile, here are 3 gentle shifts you can try without turning your life upside down. 1. Set a sweetness budget for drinks. Choose water, unsweetened tea, or coffee most of the time, and treat sugar like a weekend dessert, not a daily baseline. 2. Build a default breakfast you can make eyes closed, like plain oatmeal topped with berries and a dusting of cinnamon, or eggs with sautéed greens and a small whole-grain toast. 3. Practice the label habit. If the first 3 ingredients are sugar forms, or the serving size is unrealistically tiny, assume the product is sweeter than it looks. None of this is about fear. It's about awareness and steady control over what you can control in a culture that sells sweetness and convenience on every corner, from gas station coolers to ballpark snacks. When you listen to the liver's whisper, you start to feel steadier in the afternoon. You think clearer after lunch, and you may even sleep better when your evening choices are calmer. If you ignore the whisper long enough, of course, the body finds other ways to get your attention. I won't dramatize that. My job is to help you avoid the potholes with ordinary human-sized steps you can keep. Keep this simple. Be curious about your labels, be kind with your swaps, and be patient with your pace. Real changes don't need fireworks, they need repetition. Stay with me through the rest of this content, because the techniques ahead rely on exact amounts and preparation approaches that keep you safe and comfortable. When methods are off, too much of a good thing, or combining the wrong items, you can end up with the opposite of what you want. The next tip is one of the most important, and ignoring it won't just blunt your results. It can also lead to unwanted side effects if you apply things incorrectly. So I'll show you how to avoid that in a calm, practical way. A moment ago, we explored why a tired afternoon or a foggy head after lunch may not be just stress, and how quiet label choices, especially sugary drinks and syrupy coffee orders, can raise the workload your liver has to manage. Let's keep that momentum. I'll connect the dots between the signals many people dismiss and the gentle actions that begin easing pressure without crash diets or complicated routines. As always, this is education, not diagnosis, and if you live with a medical condition or take medication, please check with a qualified professional before making changes. Subtle signs come first, and they're easy to wave away. There's the heavy, sleepy feeling after a burger and fries lunch with a 20-ounce soda. There's the itch you scratch absent-mindedly on your forearm at night. There's the dull sense of fullness on the right side after a large, late dinner, more crowded than painful. Some people notice their appetite yo-yoing, ravenous in the morning after a syrup-sweet latte, uninterested at noon, then ready to raid the pantry at 9 p.m. None of these moments alone define a problem, and none should scare you. They're simply data. When similar signals repeat across weeks, it's your cue to experiment with kinder inputs. Here's a pattern that surprises many people raised on North American convenience. Liquid sugar behaves badly, and it hides in places marketed as wholesome. Fruit punch, sports drinks, energy drinks, sweet teas, and the coffeehouse menu with seasonal syrups. These deliver a lot of sugar fast, and the brain doesn't register fullness the way it does with real food. The practical move is not abstinence, it's a rotation. Anchor your day with unsweetened coffee or tea, water, and sparkling water with lemon. Save sweet drinks for a defined treat, not a background beverage that refills itself at the soda fountain. Another overlooked contributor is the weekend solution mindset. After 5 days of desk time and takeout, people swing to extremes: a harsh detox juice all Saturday, or a sauna and supplement marathon because a podcast promised miracles. Your liver does not need punishment followed by penance. It prefers rhythm. Regular meal times, fiber that increases gradually, reasonable sleep hours, and alcohol kept to moderation are more effective than any dramatic one-off. If you choose to drink, space it out with water, keep portions sensible, and never mix with certain over-the-counter painkillers. Read those labels carefully or ask a professional. This is calm, common-sense safety that preserves the progress you're making. There's also a medication and supplement angle people don't talk about enough. Many households keep a cabinet of as-needed pills from drugstore runs, pain relievers, cold medicines, herbal blends advertised online. On their own and used as directed, many are fine. The risk comes from stacking, using multiple products that include the same ingredient, or combining with alcohol, or taking doses above the label because you're in a hurry to feel better. Your action step here is simple and powerful. Do a cabinet check. Group items by their active ingredients, toss anything expired, and create a note on your phone listing what overlaps. You'll protect yourself from accidental excess and make conversations with your pharmacist much smoother. Let's translate the signals into a clean daily structure you can try today without shopping sprees. Breakfast. Keep it steady. If you like oatmeal, prepare it plain and sweeten with real fruit rather than syrups. If you prefer eggs, add a handful of sautéed spinach and a small portion of whole grain toast. Midday, build a plate with half non-starchy vegetables, a quarter protein, and a quarter intact grains or beans. Drinks, default to water, unsweetened coffee or tea. Snacks, reach for fiber-rich options like an apple with a spoon of unsweetened peanut butter or carrots and hummus. Evening, eat a bit earlier when you can and limit second dinner grazing in front of the TV. Movement helps more than most people realize, especially after meals. Even a light 10-minute walk around the block, inside a mall, or up and down a set of stairs is a quiet way to help your body manage what you just ate. I'll show you exactly how to time and scale this habit later, but for now, think gentle and consistent rather than intense and rare. If you're thinking, this sounds too basic to matter, that's understandable. We've been trained to expect health to come in dramatic packages, detox teas, celebrity smoothies, miracle supplements. Yet the outcomes most people want, clearer energy, better focus after lunch, feeling comfortable in your clothes, usually follow from boringly consistent moves. Replace the daily soda with sparkling water and citrus. Swap the syrup-heavy coffee for filtered coffee with a pinch of cinnamon. Trade the sugar cereal breakfast for something that actually feeds you. You can do all of that without spending extra money, and you can feel the difference in a week when the afternoon fog begins to lift. A quick word on pace. If you add more fiber, beans, lentils, oats, do it gradually and drink water through the day. Too much, too fast can cause bloating or discomfort that makes you think the change doesn't work. And if you notice unusual symptoms or persistent pain, pause and seek medical guidance. Listening early is always easier than fixing late. By now you can see the pattern. Subtle signals are not accusations, they're invitations. When you respond with label awareness, moderate drinking, smarter timing for meals, and basic movement, the liver's workload evens out. That steady rhythm is where many people rediscover energy they thought they'd lost to age or stress. The beauty is that nothing here requires a fad or a cleanse, just a willingness to trade automatic habits for intentional ones. We're about to build on this foundation with a practical step that many people skip because it seems too small to matter, yet it determines whether your changes feel good or backfire. The next tip is one of the most important, and ignoring it won't just limit your results. Applied carelessly, it can cause unwanted side effects like digestive discomfort or poor sleep. So we'll approach it carefully and clearly, step by step. We've already tuned in to the body's quieter signals and practiced simple swaps. Less liquid sugar, steadier meals, small steps after eating. Now I want to walk with you through the everyday triggers that quietly add up. None of this is about blame. It's about clarity in a culture that normalizes supersized convenience. Once you see where the friction hides, you'll know exactly which levers to pull first. Start with the places we think are safe. Many North American kitchens are stocked with condiments and breakfast foods that wear a halo. Granola bars, fruit-on-the-bottom yogurt, multigrain bread, low-fat salad dressing. Read a few labels and you'll notice patterns. Several bars contain as much sugar as a small candy bar. Fruit yogurt often relies on syrups rather than fruit. Multigrain sometimes just means multiple refined grains. Low-fat dressings may compensate with more sugar to keep flavor. None of these products are villains on their own. The issue is the background drip of added sweeteners and flavor enhancers that keeps your liver busier than it needs to be. The same halo pops up in lunch routines. A salad can turn into dessert if it's drenched in creamy dressing, topped with honey-glazed nuts, and sprinkled with sweetened dried cranberries. A turkey sandwich becomes a sugar vehicle when the bread is sweet and the sauce is a ketchup BBQ hybrid. Even the office coffee station can be a trap. Flavored creamers and seasonal syrups pour like liquid cookies. Your practical countermove is disarmingly simple. Default to unsweetened basics and add sweetness deliberately. Use olive oil and vinegar, not bottled dressings. Choose mustard over sweet sauces. If you want something sweet, own it as dessert rather than hiding it in lunch. Evening habits deserve a gentle audit. After a long day and a long commute, It's easy to slide into microwave dinners with sweet glazes or to order takeout where sauces carry most of the calories. Add a couple of beers or a generous pour of wine, and you've increased the liver's workload right when the body would prefer to wind down. If you choose to drink, keep portions modest and avoid piling on sweet mixers. And never combine alcohol with certain over-the-counter pain relievers. Check labels or ask a professional. This isn't meant to scare you, just to protect the progress you're making with choices that are otherwise easy wins. Another quiet enemy is irregular eating. Skipping breakfast, grabbing a syrup latte at 11 a.m., then attacking a huge dinner at 9 p.m. sets up a swing that can leave you foggy in the afternoon and wired at night. The body likes rhythm. Try placing an anchor meal within 2 hours of waking, even if it's small, oatmeal with berries or eggs with greens, and let the rest of the day orbit that anchor. Late-night grazing in front of the TV is often less hunger and more habit. A cup of unsweetened tea and a hard stop in the kitchen at a set time help more than willpower. Desk life adds its own layer. Many of us spend hours in meetings, then slump into the car, then the couch. Long sitting periods don't doom you, but they do tilt the balance. The fix isn't punishing workouts, it's rhythm here too. Set a recurring reminder to stand, stretch, and take a brisk 2-minute walk every hour you can. Those small bouts deliver a surprising payoff in how you feel after meals, and they make later exercise safer and more enjoyable because your body is already awake. Let's talk about medicine cabinets and supplement shelves. A lot of households keep acetaminophen or other pain relievers, cold medicines, sleep aids, and a handful of herbal products. Used exactly as directed and not stacked, many are fine. Problems arise when ingredients overlap or when doses creep up. The easiest protective action you can take today is to inventory your shelf. Group products by active ingredient, check expiration dates, and note anything you regularly pair with alcohol. Keep a list on your phone. And if you have questions, your pharmacist is an invaluable ally. They know these interactions cold. Here's a revealing exercise I often share. Pick 3 items you buy every week and find a same category lower load swap. If your breakfast cereal lists sugar high in the ingredients, try a low-sugar whole grain cereal and add berries yourself. If your go-to sauce is sweet BBQ, rotate in mustard-based or vinegar-forward options. If your usual coffee order is a grande specialty drink, practice ordering a filtered coffee with a dash of milk and cinnamon. 2 weeks from now, those swaps won't feel like sacrifices. They'll feel like your new normal. Hydration deserves a mention, not as a detox slogan, but as a practical tool. Many afternoon cravings are thirst in disguise, especially after salty snacks or restaurant meals. Keep water visible. A bottle on your desk, a glass filled before you sit down to eat, a cup in the car. Sparkling water with citrus or a splash of 100% juice can replace soda without feeling austere. If you're physically active or live in a hot climate, be consistent rather than heroic. Steady sips across the day beat chug and forget. One more pattern that hides in plain sight: portion distortion. North American single-serve sizes have drifted upward, especially for drinks and restaurant sides. You don't need a food scale to push back. You need simple visual anchors. Fill half your plate with vegetables first. Pour snack foods into a small bowl instead of eating from the bag. When ordering out, consider the appetizer size or share an entree and add a side of greens. These cues protect your intentions without math. As these pieces line up, cleaner labels, calmer sauces, steadier meals, light movement, thoughtful portions, you'll likely notice afternoons feel less heavy and evenings more relaxed. That isn't magic, it's workload smoothing. Your liver appreciates predictability the way a good team appreciates a clear schedule. And if you have a day that goes off the rails, you're not back to zero. You just return to your rhythm at the next meal. Because this is health education, I'll underline a simple safety reminder. If you live with a medical condition or take prescription medications, discuss diet and alcohol changes with your clinician or pharmacist. Adjustments that are harmless for one person can be inappropriate for another, and personalized guidance beats guesswork every time. We're about to pivot from identifying friction to stacking gentle allies, the foods and routines that support your body's natural balance without pretending to be miracle cures. The next tip is one of the most important, and ignoring it won't just blunt your results. Applied carelessly, it can also bring unwanted side effects, so we'll handle it calmly and clearly. We've cleared some space by reducing daily friction, less liquid sugar, calmer sauces, steadier meal times, short walks that make afternoons feel lighter. Now, let's fill that space with allies that work with your body instead of against it. I'm not promising miracles. I'm offering ordinary foods and methods that, used with care, support steadier energy and a more comfortable rhythm. Quantity and preparation matter, so I'll be specific where it helps and cautious where it should be. Think of fiber as your steadying friend. Not a cleanse, not a challenge, just a slow, reliable helper. Beans, lentils, oats, barley, apples, pears, raspberries. These foods slow the rush from meal to bloodstream and help you feel satisfied. If you're adding more, do it gradually and drink water. A half cup of cooked beans added to lunch most days of the week is a practical starting point. Oats can be prepared plain and topped with real fruit and a dusting of cinnamon rather than syrups. If you're used to sweet breakfast cereals, this swap may feel strange for a week. By week 2, the steadier energy often sells itself. Cruciferous vegetables deserve a place on your plate. Broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, kale. They bring compounds that support the body's natural processing systems. The cooking method matters: quick steam or roast until just tender, not limp and not charred. A sheet pan with Brussels sprouts tossed in olive oil, salt, and pepper at a moderate oven temperature is weeknight friendly. If raw salads bother your stomach, lightly wilted greens or roasted vegetables can be gentler and just as satisfying. A word about coffee and tea. Many people in North America already love coffee. The lever to pull is how it's prepared. Filtered coffee, enjoyed unsweetened or with a splash of milk, is a different thing than a dessert-like drink with syrups and whipped cream. If caffeine makes you jittery, reduce the size or choose half-calf. Green tea can be a useful companion too. Unsweetened, hot or iced. Both are most helpful when they replace sugary beverages, not when they're added on top of them. Spices and aromatics are small and mighty. Turmeric paired with a pinch of black pepper, garlic and onions in your sautés, cinnamon on oatmeal or in coffee. These add flavor that helps you rely less on sugar and heavy sauces. If you take medications or have specific conditions, check for interactions. For example, concentrated supplements are not the same as culinary amounts, and what's safe in a recipe isn't automatically safe in capsule form. When in doubt, stick to culinary doses and get individualized advice. Healthy fats play a quiet supporting role. Olive oil for cooking and dressings, a handful of nuts, a few slices of avocado. These help with satisfaction and keep meals pleasant. The pitfall to avoid is drowning foods in dressings or eating nuts by the cup. Pour oils with purpose, not by habit, and portion nuts into a small bowl instead of eating from the bag. Pleasure and prudence can share a plate. Protein choices anchor the meal. Think grilled or baked fish, chicken, turkey, tofu, tempeh, beans, and lentils. When you order takeout, ask for sauces on the side and choose options that are roasted or grilled rather than deep fried. If you like red meat, keep portions modest and pair with a generous helping of vegetables. This isn't about perfection. It's about a repeatable pattern that feels good after you eat. Let's turn all of this into a week you can live with. Choose 2 breakfasts you can make half asleep: plain oatmeal with berries and cinnamon, or eggs with sautéed greens and a slice of whole grain toast. Choose 2 lunches you can pack or assemble fast: a bean and vegetable bowl with olive oil and lemon, or a salad with grilled chicken, chickpeas, and a mustard vinaigrette. Choose 2 dinners that rely on your oven: a sheet pan of salmon with broccoli and sweet potatoes, or roasted chicken thighs with Brussels sprouts and onions. Keep fruit visible on the counter, washed and ready, and keep cut vegetables eye level in the fridge. If you're meal prepping, a few guidelines protect comfort. Cook beans until soft and rinse canned varieties to reduce sodium. Let roasted vegetables cool before sealing so they don't steam and turn soggy. Store dressings separately so your greens stay crisp. If high-fiber meals are new to you, start with smaller portions and build up across a couple of weeks, keeping a glass of water nearby. The goal is to feel good now, not to win a fiber trophy. Movement remains part of the method. Keep those 10-minute post-meal walks in your pocket. They're a simple way to smooth the after effects of a meal without gym membership or special gear. If the weather is harsh, walk the hallway, climb a few stairs, or loop a big box store. Consistency matters more than intensity here. Gentle, frequent movement pairs beautifully with the food pattern we're building. Alcohol deserves a careful word. Some people choose to avoid it entirely, others enjoy it occasionally. If you drink, keep portions modest, plan alcohol-free days each week, and never mix with certain medications or drive afterward. Sweet mixers add a sugar load, so consider seltzer with a twist of citrus. If sleep is important to you, and it is, finish your last drink earlier in the evening and hydrate. Hydration, again, is more than a slogan. Keep water close and visible. Start each meal with a few sips and keep a glass at your desk. If plain water bores you, rotate sparkling water, herbal teas, or water flavored with citrus or cucumber. Many people find that better hydration reduces afternoon cravings and helps them sense real hunger from habit. You may notice that none of these allies are exotic. They're the basics, executed with care. That's the point. When you use ordinary foods with intention, moderate amounts, thoughtful preparation, you help your body settle into a calmer pattern. Afternoon energy steadies, nighttime sleep improves, and the space between meals feels less like a roller coaster. That's a quiet kind of progress that doesn't shout on social media, but shows up in how your day feels. Because this is education, not medical advice, I'll repeat the core safety note. If you have health conditions, allergies, or take medications, tailor these ideas with a healthcare professional who knows your history. Personalized adjustments beat generic rules every time. We're about to add a technique that ties all of this together, a small habit that determines whether these choices feel comfortable or backfire. The next tip is one of the most important, and ignoring it won't just blunt your results. Applied carelessly, it can also bring unwanted side effects, so we'll approach it step by step, calmly and clearly. We've loaded our routine with quiet allies, fiber-rich foods, calmer sauces, light movement after meals, and you can probably feel the afternoons beginning to soften. Now we're going to build a one-week structure you can actually live with. No punishing cleanses, no celebrity smoothies, just a clear rhythm that takes the pressure off your liver while keeping real life intact. This is education, not diagnosis. If you have a medical condition or take medication, tailor these ideas with a clinician who knows you. And remember, amounts and preparation matter. When in doubt, go gradual. Start with a simple Sunday setup. Cook 1 pot of beans until tender, black beans, pinto, or lentils. Cool and refrigerate in containers. Roast 2 sheet pans of vegetables at a moderate temperature. Broccoli, Brussels sprouts, onions, bell peppers, or carrots with a drizzle of olive oil, salt, and pepper. Bake or grill a tray of chicken breasts or thighs, or prepare a block of tofu tempeh. Wash greens and spin them dry. Slice lemons and store them. This is not meal prep as punishment, it's reducing friction, so Tuesday night doesn't push you toward sugary sauces and late takeout. Pick 2 default breakfasts you can make half asleep. Option A, plain oatmeal topped with berries and a dusting of cinnamon, plus a spoon of plain yogurt if you like dairy. Option B, 2 eggs with sautéed spinach and a slice of whole grain toast. If you're moving over from sweet cereals or pastry, expect a week of taste readjustment. By week 2, most people notice steadier mid-morning energy. Keep drinks simple: filtered coffee, unsweetened tea, or water with a slice of lemon. Lunch gets the plate method. Fill half the plate with vegetables, roasted or fresh, a quarter with protein, chicken, fish, beans, tofu, and a quarter with intact grains or starchy vegetables, brown rice, quinoa, sweet potato. Dressings stay basic: olive oil and vinegar or lemon. If you love condiments, aim for mustard, salsa without added sugar, or plain Greek yogurt with herbs. Save sweet glazes and sugary sauces for occasional treats, and use a light hand. Dinner should support sleep, not sabotage it. Try eating a little earlier when you can and keep portions comfortable. Sheet pan salmon with broccoli and sweet potato is weeknight gold. So are chicken thighs with Brussels sprouts and onions. Ask for sauces on the side when you order out. If you drink alcohol, keep portions modest, hydrate, and avoid mixing with certain pain relievers. Labels and pharmacists are your friends. Late-night grazing in front of a screen is less hunger than habit. Set a kitchen closing time and brew an unsweetened herbal tea as a signal. Movement is the most underrated lever in this week. Keep your 10-minute post-meal walks as a daily ritual. Mall, hallway, neighborhood, parking lot, wherever life allows. Add 2 or 3 short bodyweight sessions across the week. 5 minutes of easy squats to a chair, wall push-ups, and gentle calf raises. You're not training for a medal. You're reminding your physiology to move fuel smoothly. If mobility is limited, chair marches or light resistance bands offer the same rhythm. Hydration works better as a cue than a rule. Place a glass of water where you eat, take a few sips before each meal, and keep a bottle in your line of sight at work. If plain water bores you, rotate sparkling water with citrus or herbal teas. Many afternoon snack urges soften when thirst is addressed. Create a snack scaffolding that doesn't lean on sugar. An apple with a spoon of unsweetened peanut butter, carrots with hummus, a small handful of nuts poured into a cup, not free-poured from the bag, or plain yogurt with berries. If you're used to vending machine snacks, pack your own before you leave the house, so the choice is made before hunger negotiates. Plan for real life. Office birthday? Enjoy a modest slice, then return to your usual pattern at the next meal. Weekend tailgate? Build a plate with a pile of vegetables first, proteins next, then choose one favorite higher sugar item as your feature, and skip the mindless extras. The goal isn't perfection. It's reducing the background load most days of the week, so your body gets breathing room. 2 guardrails protect your comfort this week. First, increase fiber gradually and drink water through the day. A sudden leap can cause bloating and make you think the approach doesn't work. Second, inventory your medicine cabinet. Many cold remedies, sleep aids, and pain relievers share ingredients. Stacking them or combining with alcohol can be risky. Keep a list of active ingredients on your phone and ask your pharmacist about overlaps if you're unsure. If you like tracking, keep it low friction. Jot down what you eat, your walks, your sleep time, and how you feel at 3 p.m. After 7 days, you'll see patterns. Which breakfasts keep you satisfied, which lunches make you sleepy, which dinners let you sleep well. Adjust from that reality, not from internet rules. Here's a 7-day outline to make this tangible. Day 1. Sunday setup. Beans, roasted vegetables, cooked protein, washed greens. Label 2 containers for grab-and-go lunches. Day 2. Breakfast option. A. 10-minute walk after lunch, plate method dinner. Day 3. Breakfast option B. Swap any sweetened drink for water with citrus, early kitchen close. Day 4. Repeat day 2 plus a 5-minute body weight mini session. Day 5. Bring your own snack to work. Inventory the medicine cabinet tonight. Day 6. Try a new vegetable or spice. Keep alcohol modest if you choose to drink. Day 7. Reflect for 10 minutes. What felt easy? What needs tweaking? Then prepare 2 changes for the next week. By the end of this week, you're not trying to be a different person. You've simply replaced friction with rhythm. Afternoons feel less heavy, focus after lunch is clearer, and evenings are calmer. That's how normal begins to shift without drama. Keep listening to your body and adjust portions, timing, and flavors so the pattern fits your life. Because this is health education, I'll end with the same careful reminder. If you have medical conditions, allergies, or take medications, personalize these steps with a professional who knows your history. Small adjustments can matter. We're about to tie everything together with a daily anchor you can prepare in minutes, plus a free habit that multiplies your results without equipment. The next tip is one of the most important, and ignoring it won't just limit your results. Applied carelessly, it can also bring unwanted side effects, so we'll handle it calmly and clearly. You've built a week of rhythm that asks less from your body and gives more back. Steadier breakfasts, calmer sauces, short walks that smooth out the afternoon. Now it's time to reveal the daily anchor I promised and the small bonus habit that quietly multiplies your progress. This is still education, not diagnosis. If you live with medical conditions, allergies, or take medications, adapt these ideas with a professional who knows your history. Precision matters here. The amounts and the method are what make this practical and comfortable. The anchor is a make-ahead breakfast that folds together fiber, gentle protein, and flavor without syrupy shortcuts. It's built from ordinary North American pantry items, costs little, and takes 5 minutes at night. Think of it as a calm start that gives your liver a steady stream of inputs rather than a morning sugar surge. Here's the preparation, step by step, with the right proportions. In a 12 to 16 ounce jar or bowl, combine 1-2 cup old-fashioned rolled oats, not instant, 1 tablespoon chia seeds, and 1 tablespoon ground flaxseed. Add 1-2 cup plain milk or an unsweetened plant milk, and 1-2 cup plain yogurt, dairy or non-dairy. Stir in 1-2 cup frozen or fresh berries, blueberries, raspberries, or a mix, and a light shake of cinnamon. If you prefer it looser, add 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. Stir well, cover, and refrigerate overnight. In the morning, give it a quick stir and taste. If you need a touch of sweetness, add a few slices of banana or a teaspoon of pure maple syrup, not a squeeze of flavored syrup. Keep the sweetness modest so the balance you're building stays intact. A few safety first notes, so this works for you, not against you. Increase fiber gradually if this style of breakfast is new. Too much, too fast, can cause bloating. Drink water through the morning. If you have celiac disease or gluten sensitivity, choose certified gluten-free oats. If you're lactose sensitive, use lactose-free milk or a fortified plant milk and a dairy-free yogurt. If you manage blood sugar with medication, pair this breakfast with your clinician's guidance and monitor how you feel. The combination of oats, seeds, and yogurt is generally gentle, but individual needs vary. Why this mix? Oats and seeds bring soluble fiber that slows digestion in a good way, helping you feel satisfied without the spikes that often follow sweet pastries or syrup-loaded coffees. Plain yogurt adds protein and a creamy texture that satisfies without heavy sauces or added sugar. Berries contribute color, flavor, and a brightness that keeps you from missing dessert for breakfast. Cinnamon adds aroma and a subtle nudge of sweetness without actual sugar. You can swap berries for diced apple or pear, or add a spoon of chopped walnuts for extra texture. Just keep portions thoughtful so the bowl remains steady rather than heavy. How to fit it into a busy morning. Make 2 jars at once. Grab one as you leave for a commute, or sit down at your home desk with a glass of water and a simple filtered coffee. If you like warmth, take the chill off in short microwave bursts, stirring between them until it reaches a pleasant temperature, lukewarm, not hot, to preserve texture. Resist the temptation to crown it with granola bombs or dessert toppings. The goal is calm, not a sugar parade. Now the promised bonus, the 10-minute post-meal walk. It's almost too simple, which is why people skip it. Within 10 to 20 minutes after your 2 largest meals, set a timer and walk at a comfortable pace. Use the hallway at work, circle the block, wander a big box store, or climb a few flights of stairs if that's accessible. Aim for a pace where you can speak in full sentences. The purpose is not fitness bravado. It's gentle assistance for your body as it files away what you just ate. Consistency beats intensity here. Personalize this habit with common sense boundaries. If you're using insulin or medications that can lower blood sugar, talk with your clinician about timing and carry what you need for safety. If joint pain is a reality, choose a flat route, a maul, or even a stationary pedal device under your desk. If weather is extreme, walk indoors or do a 10-minute movement circuit. March in place, chair sit to stands, wall push-ups, and light stretches. The point is the ritual, not the mileage. Pair the bonus with small anchors so you don't forget. Place your walking shoes by the door after you clear the dinner plates. Set a repeating calendar reminder that buzzes 10 minutes after your usual lunch break. Invite a colleague or family member to join you once a day. If you forget, don't spiral. Take a shorter stroll later and reset. This habit is about smoothing your day, not scoring points. Let's fold this into your week so it sticks. Nightly routine. Assemble tomorrow's jar in 5 minutes while the kitchen is still open. Morning routine. Water first, then your jar, then a simple coffee or tea without syrups. Midday. Choose a plate that follows the half vegetables, quarter protein, quarter grains, beans pattern, and walk 10 minutes afterward. Evening. Keep dinner relaxed, sauces on the side, and finish eating early enough that you can walk comfortably before winding down. Track how you feel at 3 p.m. and at bedtime. Those are the windows where most people notice the payoff. If you love variety, here are gentle rotations that keep the anchor intact. Swap oats for overnight barley flakes once a week. Trade berries for diced pear and a pinch of ginger. Replace yogurt with silken tofu blended smooth if you avoid dairy. Add a teaspoon of chopped dark chocolate for a Friday jar. Yes, really, because sustainability includes pleasure. Keep the base proportions steady so the breakfast remains supportive rather than heavy. Close with a reality check that keeps you confident. You do not need exotic supplements, juice cleanses, or perfect weeks to feel better. You need repeatable basics executed with care. Modest sweetness, real fiber, calm sauces, consistent sleep, and 10 unglamorous minutes on your feet after meals. That is how you move from flare-ups and fog to steadier days you can trust. If this approach helps you, share it with someone who's juggling a long commute, a drive-through habit, and a tired afternoon brain. Leave a note about which jar variation you'll try first, and consider subscribing so this kind of straightforward health education keeps showing up when you need it. Progress loves company, and your ordinary choices can model sanity in a culture that often sells extremes. To keep our safety promise, if you have health conditions, take medications, or live with allergies, personalize these steps with a professional. Small details, like fiber intake, dairy tolerance, or timing of movement, change the experience drastically from person to person. We're closing with the same clear boundary that's guided us from the start. The next tip is one of the most important, and ignoring it won't just limit your results. Applied carelessly, it can also bring unwanted side effects, so approach it thoughtfully and use the same calm, practical mindset you've built here.